What's up, fellow pirates? It's your boy GM. How's it going? And by the way, let me wish you guys Happy New Year 2025. Wishing you all the great stuff that life has to offer for this year and so much more. So, chapter 1135, which by the way was released a few days ago, which I completely missed, so my apologies. Like, even though that you probably already read it, there are some things that I would like to point out. So, let's get into this. We get introduced to Biblio, who is an owl that has been there for centuries, and he is like probably the one overlooking all the books in the library. That owl ate the grow fruit, enable him to grow the books into giant size form. What I'm guessing is that this owl probably has the power to reverse that, because, well, you know what? I will get back to that a little bit later in that review. But it would make sense if that owl had the power to make everything that is giant size, small size as well. We see Luffy, Usopp, and some giant kids trying the giant swing, and those kids are traumatized. And even though that Luffy and Usopp are a bit disappointed, Usopp mentions that they can't blame them for wanting a peaceful life. And it makes sense, you know. Granted, Elbaf is a tribe of strong warriors, strong giant warriors, but at the same time, after war times comes peace. So it makes sense that those kids are not bred into that same culture as their ancestors. Nevertheless, we are introduced to this giant kid who was excited to meet the Straw Hats, especially Luffy, and he tries to attack Luffy. And I gotta say, even though that Luffy subdued him very calmly and kindly, I gotta say, I love this kid's energy. He is in full admiration of Luffy and all that. And of course, it comes from their connection that they have through Shanks. And all the kids do not like Colin and his savage ways, while Colin, he really embraces the Viking life and he wants to become a Viking warrior in the future. I have a feeling that on that level, him and particularly Usopp will very get along. We also learn in the next page that Colin's mother is none other than Ripley, but Ripley's father is actually human. And I have so many questions about that. How do they make this work? Because let's be honest, on a physical aspect, I mean, unless somehow they have some strange way to make a human giant size or a giant human size. Yeah. So yeah, I have a lot of questions about that. At first, I thought that Biblio's powers about the grow fruit would be involved, but the problem is that power only works on inorganic matter, so it doesn't work on living beings. So yeah. We see the rest of the Straw Hats, Jinbei, Robin, Brooke, and Frankie being dressed in Elbaf clothing style, and my god, they look amazing. Particularly Robin, because I'm not saying that I was expecting something sexualized, but let's be honest, you know, in a lot of arcs, you know, when they enter a new highland or whatever, I gotta say Robin and Nami, good looking as they are always a bit, you know, fan service in their clothing. But in this one, I really love their clothing style. It's amazing, it's beautiful, it's still sexy, but it's just perfect. So I truly love Robin's clothing style. Back in Horus Castle, we see the two mysterious cloak figure talking to the two giants, questioning them, and one of them looks in a lot of pain. Like, I don't know what kind of powers that those cloak figure have, but the theory about Shanks being this figure being Shanks' twin brother seems to hold a lot of water now, because back in chapter 907, we saw Shanks talking to the five elders, and we all thought that was Shanks. But here's the thing: now with those chapters, now with those current chapters, I always wondered, as much as Shanks has a lot of influence as one of the four emperors, at some point like him to be able to talk to the five elders, I just don't see the reason why these two would communicate, you know. And now that we keep seeing this same figure appearing in Elbaf, now we know that this figure stronger the chances that it's not Shanks. So that figure all the way back in 907, that's him right there in the chapter. But why he resembles Shanks, twin brother, clone even, anything is possible. And the chapter ends with the Straw Hats celebrating with the Giants of Elbaf, and everybody is having a blast. It's like the world's biggest party ever. Like in terms of party, that's the biggest one. And the arc isn't over yet, so you know that at the end of that arc, there's gonna be an even bigger party. And we get introduced to Bearded Hail Jarul, who is the hero of the Giants, and he is the oldest guy in the world, age 408. Like, wow, this guy, I'm guessing he must know more information about the Blank Century, considering that for him, I don't know, maybe not. I mean, that's a little far-fetched, because we have to go further into the arc to see what he knows, maybe, because look, he's old, so he must know something. And he has a sword going through his head. Like, wow, how is he alive? One Piece logic, it just happens. So anyways, this was a great chapter. I really loved it. Now that the introduction are done and set, now we're gonna get to the good stuff. But we're gonna have to wait for sorry, we're gonna have to wait 2 weeks, because next week One Piece is on break. So you guys take care of yourself. Sorry if I'm cutting this short, because I got some guests at home and I gotta attend to them. So take it easy, stay breezy, and I'll see you around. All right, see you guys.